You're causing a disturbance.
No,
now.
I'm preaching,
You
sir.
are not welcome, okay? Get up! Get up!
I've got a bad back, sir.
Well, get up! Get up!
You're hurting my arm. Why are you hurting my arm like
You've
this?
been detained.
You don't need to do this, sir.
Okay?
Last decade has been crazy, really. Steadily getting worse from authorities and sadly an element of the general public. There are windows of grace and quietness from the police and the authorities, and then it all kicks off again. I'm not stupid. I'm ex-soldier, so I'm aware of the wiles of the world.
I think with the way things have gone over the last 10 years, a lot has changed. But ultimately, the hearts of men are still the same as we go through time. Since the beginning of time, we're born in sin.
Do you believe the Ten Commandments are the most important 10 commandments there are?
And you're just seeing it acted out more, I think.
And they crucified him. A man said to me earlier, no wonder they crucified Jesus.
But we know Satan rages against those who preach the gospel and are bold and fearless with it and love people. And they're not taking on Mike Overd. They're taking on the Almighty, the creator of all things. Father, forgive them, they know not what they do, and save even some of the police.
We've socially starting to accept a lot more sins in the last, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years with things like abortion and same-sex union, making it more acceptable. And anyone who says anything biblical against their beliefs or views are labeled bigotry and homophobic and things like that.
My dynamic is very simple concerning the police. When they behave themselves, they have my respect. When they don't, they have nothing.
A lot of the police that I have seen, even on both sides of the pond, is that a lot of them are not well trained in the rights of free speech. And a lot of times, if you talk to them and reason with them, a lot of times they'll understand where you're coming from and, why you're able to do what you do. I still feel they need to be trained a little bit better on both sides, and not always respond to how people are reacting to us, but they should be responding to what's the law and what are we able to do.
To obviously get the damages, it pains me, and I know it pains my fellow brothers to be having to take the police to court on this. For a change, to have the judge rebuke the police, it's never happened.
To be able to freely go and stand in the public square and proclaim the word of God without hindrance.
The police should have immediately given damages, like they do in most cases when they're found guilty of such things, and they lose.
The highs and lows of how you look at it, we know that the gospel is the power of God unto salvation. So we go out there with the hopes that we can freely do what we do. I think that the church, a lot of times, they look at the response of the public towards us, and because the response may not be pleasing to what they think it should be, they think that somehow that we're doing it wrong. And I think that they have to understand that if you're going to boldly proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ, you're going to get people that are going to come against you.
This is not a personal vendetta from myself against the Avon and Somerset Police. They have a personal vendetta against me, and that's obvious from the evidence over the years. Having my wife with me, being blessed by the Lord to have Rachel stand by my side and to have Christian Concern stand by my side. But first and foremost, my wife. My Lord stood by my side as well. The greatest victory is to still be out there on the street. They've not succeeded.
As a Christian, I've learned that we're to be kind even to police officers as they approach us, to be gracious, be kind to them, hoping that I can win them to Christ even as I speak to them. So I learned that it's better to be gracious and kind in the midst of even what might be persecution.